Hello, everybody. How are you all? It's really good to see you. And this is our first prize Zoom workshop. Now, oh, oops. Can you hear me now? I just got told off for whispering. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay, good morning, everybody. It's really nice to see you, Rosemary, Lane, Janet, Patricia. We've got Jennifer and Anne, and who else is here? Whoever owner is. Oh, secret. Hi. I wanted to just say hi to everybody. We are going to go at quite a pace in this class, so it's a good one to watch back. There's a few little tips that I want to share with you and a couple of new ideas. Massive thank you to Amanda in our team here at Highlight Crafts, because she helped with quite a lot of the prep. It's super busy at the moment. We've got a lot going on with product development for next year. So I'm relying on quite a bit of help from the team. So wanted to say a big thank you to them. Right, so first of all, a few things. I want to show you this project. So this one, I'm just going to use my blackboard so that we're not distracted by the check on the back of here. I want to show this one. I'm going to lift it up and stay on the overhead so you can see into it, because what we've done is we've made the hay bales 3D by creating these little corners here. So I'm going to show you how to do that and how you then get into it and create this dimension that we've got. And of course, the back of the card itself. Now, lots of you have already got construction acetate, but for anybody who hasn't, I've got Diane to do it on a deal for us, and it's half price. So it just means that anybody who hasn't got any can actually get it, but you need to use the code acetate50. Right, so I've got a few different steps. So this is my top step. So that's one of them. I've got another one here that's the bottom step, and I should have another piece. There we go. That's the stand. So I've got those three pieces. Now I'm going to give you the measurements, but we will write this down after here, but let me just talk you through these measurements. So the stand is 15 and a half centimeters by 7. The bottom step is again 15 and I'm going to say 16 by 7 for the main stand, 16 by 8.5 for the bottom stand, and the last one is 21 by 7. So 21 by 7, 16 by 7, and 16 by 8.5. There's half a centimetre difference, but that really shouldn't matter. Be easier for you to cut them all the same. Right, now I need to just show you how you actually make these. So the first thing that we need to do, and I'm going to just do these parts of it. So the first thing that you need to do is take your hay bale, and I am just using my pokey tool, and I'm scoring a line down here and a line across there. So you can see where that goes. So the line's gone across there, and the line's gone down that bale there. And then I'm going to come into here like that. And then if I do that again on this one, so I'm coming across there, I'm coming down here and across there. So if I just pop it there, there, and there. That's not enough to make that to do everything that we need to do. We need to do a couple of other things. I need a cut line in here, and I can't find my tool I've had it over the weekend and I've got no idea what I've done with it. It's not at home, it's just somewhere. And this one, this is going to sit on top, but I want to be able to use this slot to tuck lots of things into it. So part of it is part of the bale that I've got there. And also I'm going to sit the little dogs on here. So it's this one that's going to fit. So I'm just going to go right across here with a slit. And it's literally in the middle of those two pieces. So let me do that again on this one I've scored so you can see. So it's going to go across there like that. And then so do your pop first, do that crease first, because after you've cut it, it's a little bit harder. That piece comes there, and then this little bit tucks round a bit like you're doing an envelope corner. Okay, so it's just going to tuck round that. So you create yourself a little corner, and of course it's then got that slot in it. So if I wanted to tuck that one in, I can push that one in and tuck that in like that. Okay, so you're able to tuck these in one on top of each other. So I've already got some cutting done here, and I've already got some folding, so I've got different sizes. So I'm going to get these glued and put them to one side while I do some more assembly. So we're just going to pop that piece there, and I'm going in like that. So there is the first of my hay bales. So just like to make sure that corner's nice and sharp. So that's the first one. Second one pops there and that corner, and that's going to tuck round. So we're going to go on this bit and fold that and hold it. And it's holding it for probably about 5 seconds. So there, that's that one done. And then finally, this is my third one. I've got all my folds done for me, and that's going to go on here. And don't worry if these corners are not sort of corners, because hay bales are sort of a bit rounded, and they're not, and remember, it's nature, nothing's ever perfect. So there, that's that. So I've now got my 3 bales of hay. So that's the first part of the story. So let me move these out of the way. Now, I need to be able to support everything. So my top step is this panel here. And I've got a piece at the top that holds it all together. I've got that white tab on, so you can I've left yellow tab. I'm leaving it on so that you can see it a little bit. Where I've got yellow, it helps you just see that there's a piece of plastic there. Trying to get the light to just catch that for you so you can see. So I've come along here, scored at the top across both panels. So I've got a 1 centimetre little block, and then I've done the same. I've come down the end, I've got another 1 centimetre block, and then a little panel going up. My bottom step is like that, scored up there, and then I've got another panel at the top. So if I do these one at a time to make it make more sense for you, the stand's going to go on last, and I'm going to work from the bottom up. So first of all, this panel here is going to stick against that bit of the bale. So without the measurements, it's the depth of the bale there, and you've got 2 pieces of tape holding that in place. I'm going to take that score line down so that the score line that I've got just there, so that it's absolutely level with that bottom. So my tape's on this side. So let's take that off. I'm going to just fold that piece, and I'm going to put it level with the bottom of the bale like that. Okay, so it's level with the bottom. The tape's holding it in place there, and that piece folds up, and we've got a little 1 centimetre step. Then this piece comes up to here, and that's the bottom step. So I'm going to take that piece off, and I'm now going to take the next one of my bales, and I'm going to put that one, where's the tape gone? There, take you off. And that one is going to go in here. So I need to just make a little cut. So to do that, I'm going to snip into there like that. Just tuck that back. And this is going to slide in there. Whoops. A little bit more. So snip a bit more. Fold you back. It's going to slide into here. There we go. So I'm in. I can now pull this piece back and it's going to stick. Can you see how it's going to stick against that edge? So that's going to help support it there. So I'm just going to put that bit of glue on and support that part of it just in there. And then this bit is going to press down there, and that's going to go up there like that. Just going to make sure it's level. It's not quite level. Oops. Want it parallel to the, oops, let's get you back in. Want that edge parallel to that edge up there. So just going to double check it. There we go. So don't worry that this piece of the bale folds down. That's okay, because we've still got that layer and panel at the top. So what we've done now is we've created ourselves the start of the actual bales going together. So you can see inside I've got this rectangle that's supporting all of the design. Now, I'd looked at it and thought, what other things, how else could we make it more sturdy? Could I glue that panel, that piece down? Absolutely, you could if you wanted to, but I did find that it wasn't really necessary, so I've left mine floating. It's up to you if you decide you want to glue it. I'm just going to fold that bit down and glue there again, because I obviously didn't do a very good job the first time round, and I'm going to hold that together. So we're now going to repeat the process. So you check how much of this you need to snip into. So the first snip goes there. Then I'm going to snip in a little bit further, and I'm going to roll it back like that. And then this slides in to there, like that. So you've got it. And then you can roll that out until you can glue it on that corner, and you've created another hay bale. And don't worry, because what it means is the bales sort of overlap each other and hang off the edges, but bales do that, so it does look quite authentic. So it's going to go like that. So what will happen now is, this is our top step. So this piece is going to stick to that piece of acetate. So what you've got here is you've got two bases together. So once, and I'm putting mine so that they're level at one end. When Amanda did it, she looked at doing it in the middle, but I found it was sturdier if I had it all at one end. So we're going to take off the tape just here and line this up. So I'm holding, just better put my glasses on. So I'm holding the panels together so that they are, whoops, not quite that level. And I'm going to just release it because it does need to be level on the bottom. And that means this part of it being flush. Almost there. There. So that's flush, and now I can hold that in. And then this next piece folds back and creates, and this is going to be part of the stand, and that piece is going to hold onto the bottom of there. So you need to make sure that you've pushed your brick in far enough, which I haven't quite. So I'm just going to take this out, which means I didn't cut it quite far enough up. So I'm going to come back out and I'm just going to snip there. That piece can still roll back like it should. Going to go through there like that, okay? That corner for some reason does not want to stick. Might need to just put a piece of tape on that if it doesn't stick now. And this is going to go onto there, and it is just going to be catching that in place where it needs to be. And in fact, to make sure that I have got this down where I need it to be, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. So I'm going to go underneath there and I'm going to just catch those two pieces down. Should be one if I'd gone high enough with that first measurement. So there, get you down, and that's ready for that piece of acetate to be stuck down. So there we go. And it's just catching the bottom of that second brick that I've got there, or block. Just let's catch you down. There. Oh, push down a tiny bit further. Come on, corner. I don't know about you guys, but I constantly find myself talking to my crafting at the moment. Find it's actually more friendly than talking to humans. So there we go. So I've got that all together right now. So this piece is still floating, and that's absolutely fine. And the reason that it is because the length of acetate that I had wasn't quite long enough. So I've got, where's that last piece gone? My stand, which is this piece, and that actually is going to support this whole thing. So I'm going to go right up to the top like that and press that against, and that is going to support the whole design. So if I lift that off and I pull this, it's the same width as that piece of acetate. I could glue the two of them together here if I chose to, but I'm not going to on this occasion because I don't think it will need it. But let's slide that in, making sure that it's level here and here. So slide that up there. Right, now let's press that down, make sure that's pressed down, and that should stand up the whole design, which it does. Okay, so let me just turn that to the side so that you can see. And that's got that part of it, and this is quite vertical at the moment. So I'm going to just pull out my acetate a tiny bit, just so that I've got a little bit more of a lean on that back, a little bit more slant. Okay, now we've done all the back of it. I've now got all the other elements of it to do. So this is our little dog. And I've got, you can see here, I've cut, just turn this over. So there's a full one. This one, I've taken his back paws and his tail. There we go. This one, taken his back paw and part of his tail. This one, back paws and tails. And this one leaves me with his tummy. Okay? So we're gonna assemble him. Now, to assemble him, I'm going to do a little bit of work with him and some shaping, and I'm going to show you where we're going to do that. And I'm going to work with my foam. So my first little dog, he's going to get his ears shaped up just slightly and his body shaped round. And I'm using my fingers and I'm only shaping the middle part of his body. So when he's on, you can see he's quite proud from the cardstock, and the foam is only going on his tummy. So that goes on his tummy like that. Then you get a little piece of red liner tape, and this is how we keep these curves. Now the tape needs to be a tiny bit longer than that piece of foam. So it's longer at this end and it's longer at that end. That comes off there, and this one is going to go on top. And what's happened is we've made his tummy bulge. So if I look to the side, you can see that I've very clearly got that shaping and his tummy comes out. Now we're going to shape both of them round. And what you can see happens clearly is his little tail and his back leg get some dimension to them. Then this one, we do the same thing. And we want to do exactly the same thing. But the problem with this foam is that what I've got is too wide. So I'm just going to put that piece of liner tape on there. And I'm just going to cut through there so it doesn't go sticky on me. So I've got half the width. And it's going to go down the middle there. Then I'm going to take off the tape and I'm going to go back to my liner tape. And I'm going to put it there, go along the foam and back to there. When you're going along the foam and up like I'm doing here, don't press it right in at the edges there. You want it to sort of go smoothly. So then this piece is going to lift up and it's going to go just there. And now when I shape him round, you'll see how his back leg there and his tail look like they're dimensional. Then this paw's got some dimension and now he's looking right to the front. If I hold it to the side, you can see how that works. If I hold it to that side, you can see where that is. Okay, and there he is. He's sitting proud from the table. This one, we've got one more layer. So on this one, we're going to take a square of foam this time. So, and it's going to go a square or a little mini rectangle, and it's going to go there. But we need to take the red liner tape slightly differently. So we're going to go across, whoops, there. I'm just going to take that off. There you go. Like that. Take the back off. And then you're going to go over here and down, right down his chest, till the width of the tape is wider than the paper. So again, we've got the shape there. Now, this, when you line up his ears first. Get that lined up because that's the bit that's the hardest to line up. And then slide your finger over the foam and down his chest. And can you see how he's then held in place at the sides, his chest's held in place, and we can just lift up that little bit of fur. And look how easy he is for me to handle because I've used that red liner tape and that foam. And I've got a lovely dimensional little sheepdog. Okay, so he's ready to put on the front of our card just there, and he's going to sit just there. So I'm going to put him on now, and I'm going to put him on with foam, you've guessed it, and some liner tape. So I've got to check the foam isn't taller than that little bail. This comes off here, and the tape, the red liner tape, wants to go across there. And what this is doing is it's making sure that when we look from the sides are against the bail, so you don't see a gap. And I'll show you when you look at this in a minute. So there, so the main body is being pulled back by that piece. and there. Now, on this bit, I've got a tiny little bit of the red liner went over the edge of the body. So take your finger and just pull that back. Now, when I sit him on here, the foam is going to make sure his body stays bowed, but the liner tape makes sure that the back layer is stuck right to there. So I've still got the shape in, but look at it from the side. It's really nice and flat and lovely and neat. So that's the next thing that we wanted to do. Then I've got my little dog for the top. Now, I want to just share with you, some of you may already have this, but for those of you that don't, there are some little puppies in this collection. We didn't do them originally on Create and Craft. They were, I think, a web exclusive. So you might want to put a couple of little puppies up there. And if anybody wants those, I think they might be on a deal as well. But, and I think any of the web exclusives, so there's a little Bella, Milo and Nala. There's Buck and there's the little Name the Teddy. And then there's also on the road, all of those have got, I think there's 30% off. Right, this one, I've only got 2 panels to use, and I'm going to be putting those on the top one. So I'm going to use exactly the same technique. So I'm going to take a piece of foam that goes down the middle. And just before I take it off, let me show you where I've cut. So I've only got 2 layers for this one. So those 2 layers are going together. And he is going to get shaped round. He needs some of our red liner tape. So probably 1 centimetre at the bottom and 1 centimetre at the top. And that's going to come like that. I think now you can sort of get the gist of why I'm using this technique to put my decoupage together, because it cloaks those sides so nicely. And then I've got my little rosette, which can go here. He is going to sit up there like that. But the next thing I want to do is, so that they look like they're friends, but not the same little dog, I'm just going to put a little bit of colour on him, so that he is a little bit different to the one that we've got. He's going to have some little patches. So just giving him a couple of little patches on him. And remember, the next part of it, you must make sure this is shorter than the bail that we've got. Take the tape. I'm going to go this way across, like that. There. And just at the top, there. And that should do the job. Lift both of those off. And he's going to sit here. So slide him, make sure that bail's dimensional, and just slide him in there like that. So they're from the same litter, but they're not, they're brothers rather than the same dog. Right. Now I've got a little rosette, so I can decide where my little rosette's going to go, but I've got lots of Yep. Hey, everybody. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened. Andrew had to run up and down the stairs twice. So that's another piece of Kit Kat he can have. Right, so let's just do a quick recap. So I'm going to show you from the side how I've got my bales, so you can see those. So they're the bales that you can see there. My little dogs are perfectly stuck. It's quite neat on the back, which is what we want. And we've got that dimension of our little dogs. Now I've got to build up this bit of decoupage. And what I'm going to do to start with is a little cheat. I'm going to come across the bottom of this piece quite a long way. I'm going to come across the top of that piece, probably about 2 centimeters shorter. I'm then going to come across here like that, there, and I'm going to come across here just there. So when I'm planning my design, I know that I'm coming up in this shape. So I can take that piece off there, that piece just there. And so I've got 1 centimetre, 3 centimetres, about 5 centimetres and about 8 centimetres. Right, so the first one is going to go up like that. Then I've got all of these different flowers. So that one is going to go there. And it's gone behind that little slot. So makes it perfect for getting the dimension. This one is going to go into that little slot. I'm just going to keep pushing with it. And is going to go over our little dog. Now, I want to show you how I would shape these, because you've got a lot of different ways of doing shaping, but this part of it, I'm just going to get the tool. There we go. Oh, I've just found my craft knife. So this little bit of shaping. So I want to go inside that part of the sunflower, just inside there. And then I'm going to pull out these petals and just give them a little bit of shape. Don't pull too hard, because you'll pull the middle of the sunflower out. But look at the difference between those two. It is quite marked. Then on this one, just there and there. But then, again, I'm going to turn that bit up. Now, I'm going to go there with this one, and those petals and leaves turn up. So that's creating that grounding that we want. You can see how much better it looks with that shaping. So into here, turn over, there, there, there. Fingers for this part. And that one is going to go just there. Then I'm going to go again. Oops. Oh, wrong way. That way. That way, that way, that way, that way. Bit of shape there. And I want you to go just, I've covered all of that one. So I'll go down here. There. Going to go into this one. Shape. Andrew, how much time have I got left, please? Okay, I wanted to just check everybody because I want to show you something else. So you can see how nice this is looking as it's coming round in a story, but we haven't finished because you can see how many sunflowers I'd got to be able to use. And this was without any extra cuts. This was just what I felt I needed to be able to get the dimension that I'd planned. Let's put you just there. So I'm still managing to use that tape. I have covered it all now. I've got some extra flowers here. So just want to use some of these little blue ones. And at this point, you're thinking, oh gosh, should have put those behind. But what we do is that bit will tuck behind, put it over the top, and then I get another sunflower. And this one goes over the top like that. So you've got them properly layering. Okay, so here we get glue on this part, and the bit that's going behind that flower definitely needs some glue, otherwise it's going to be weak and it won't have anything to support it. So it's that one that I've just made sure I've got some glue on. Okay, there, let's get that in place. This one, because I've made the flower head stand out, that's great because I've got some dimension already, so that's good. This piece, again, in here, there, and there. And that's going to go under there. But you can see how I've got the depth with it coming forward. And then I need, and it's that one I wanted. I just was looking between these two flower heads to see which one I wanted. And because I've got this one, I've already got one there and there. It's that one that I want to be able to go in that middle space. So into here, shape that middle, go round as I'm doing here, like that. And then that flower head is going to go just there. And then I've got a couple of choices to finish off this. I can have the leaves so that they come down. So when you look at it, they're like that. But my preference on this one is to actually trim these level. So I'm going to turn it over. Just going to trim those level like that. So I've got it all nice and neat, but I'm going to go back in with a couple of these leaves and put them in to make sure that it looks a bit more finished. So see how that added a little bit of something there. Got another one here. I'm just going to put this one in, tuck that one under there so that that looks a little bit finished. And then finally up here, I need a little bit of the blue, and I'm going to tuck that right in like that until I can get a tiny little dot just there and a little bit there of shape. And then I've got my little rosette, and he's going to wear his rosette. So there it goes, just there, little mini rosette. So I've added that little bit of blue in. We've got really nice effect with all of that detail. Now the back stand is slightly longer than the front. So I am going to just trim that short so that they're level. I'm going to lift that up and pull that out so that that leans back just a tiny bit. And there's our finished card. And if I turn it to the side, you can see our dimension. If I turn it to the back, you can see we're nice and neat. And on each side, because of the way that we used and we did that decoupage, it's all super tidy and gives us that little bit of extra dimension. Okay, so that's one of the projects, but I want to just quickly do you another one. And I've got it all ready for you. And right, and what it is it's here, and it is the truck. And there's a couple of little tips that I want to just give you on this one. So first of all, with this, it's how we decoupage up the truck. So first of all, I've got the full truck itself. So nothing's been cut from it. I've then got another full truck and nothing has been cut from this one. And what I want to do with this is create a layer between here and here to make this stand up. So you've got a couple of choices, but of course, our best choice is to use construction acetate. So I'm going to take 2 strips. I'm going to use one as a stand, and I'm going to use one to create a block. So that's going to be the piece that will be the stand, and this is the piece that's going to be the block. And the only thing that we need to remember is I've scored it there. So whatever this second score width is, and mine's going to be about 1 centimetre, like that. You've got to make sure that you do exactly the same thing at the other end, wherever you do it. So I'm just going to do that there. Now I've done this a lot, guys, so I don't need to measure. I'm pretty practiced at it, but I'm making myself a little closed rectangle. So you can see that if I put it on there, you can see my rectangle. And I'm using this as a stand. So it's pretty sturdy. And so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put tape on that part there and tape on that part. So let's lift that back like that. Lift that back. Now, we need to make sure that we line, whoops, oh, get you back there, that we line this up and it's all together, and that's our rectangle, okay? So that's the first of the blocks, and it is going to sit here. But before we do anything, we're going to go making it into, and I just cut a little curve out like that. There and there. And just trim out that piece there. Sorry, I'm just concentrating on my cutting. There. So I've sort of cut it away, if you like, so that when it's on here, you don't see it behind the wheels. Can you see that? So I've now got it so you don't see it behind the wheels. Right, so now we're ready to do our gluing. So I'm just going to make sure I'm gluing it in the right place. So we'll glue there. That's one piece. I'm going to glue there. There. And one more just across here. And that's that. Okay, so now we made our little stand. And what you can do is once you've made one of these, you could take it to pieces, cut this all really neatly and make yourself a template if you're going to make this card more than once. But so that goes like that. This goes like, Whoops, that goes down, that goes like that. And then the second one goes like, oops, let's just get that level. Like that. So it's freestanding. Okay, so now I can just attach it at the back here. And what that's going to do is it's going to make the car look like it's curved slightly. So I'm going to take my tape, my liner tape, and I'm just going to go across the back like that. And this gives us that little bit of just a curve just on there. And I'm just going to pull that so that the two of them go together and meet in the middle. And you can see now you've sort of got that bit of a curve. So although this wasn't super neat inside, you don't actually see it on the outside. Then the next part of the truck is this piece. So this is going to sit over the top. Now, I've cut into here and I've cut out where the window is. So I've cut this panel, I've cut all of that out. You've got a couple of choices. You could put a little piece of acetate behind it if you wanted to. So that's an option. So I could make it so it's shiny and you look at the difference. You can actually see the difference reflecting in there. So that is an option. And to do that, what I do, get your strip and make sure it's wider than the whole design. And then we're going to take this across there. That's one panel. And across here is the next panel. And then I just cut it level as I go along. So they're the two pieces. I'm going to just trim off that strip. Bring this just inside so that I don't have to make it worry about the shape. And on this side, I'm just going to pull my acetate back and the frame and slide the scissors underneath so it just cuts there. So that's the design. When I come to put it onto here, and you can see how I can get a little bit of bow in, and that's where it really comes to life, is I'm going to use the technique that we did earlier. So I'm going to put my strip of foam there and my strip of foam there. So both vertically, like this. I'm then going to go with my tape across here. So that's one piece. Across here. And this is all about, one of the things I wanted to teach you in this Zoom class was how to get your decoupage looking really professional all round and looking really neat. And I think we've managed to achieve that. Certainly our little collie dogs and everything we did with our bales of hay looked great. So, no, whoops, didn't mean to do that bit, no. So now a little bit of shaping. So I'm going to get the wheels together up there and up there. So that tape is holding it together, but you've still got a little bit of a shape. You can see it better from the bottom, look. You actually have got that little bit of shaping going on, which gives us the extra bit of dimension. I've then got a couple of pieces that I've cut off that I'm going to put onto here. And before I do that, when I've cut them, I've cut it and I've got a little white edge there. So I'm just going to do this. And look at the difference that makes. It really makes it look so much more professional, as if you've got coloured core cardstock. So if I show you that one, versus, in fact, let me put them both down on here. Look at the difference. This one, you can see all those little bits of edges. So if I do the same thing, so that we lose the fibres, and notice how I'm using a dark brown, not a black, because I don't want the black to be overpowering. So I've chosen to go with something a little bit more subtle. Look at both of those. The edges just disappear into the cardstock, which is what we want to achieve. Now with these, because they're jerry cans or they're extra, they're sort of attached on hinges, I don't want them to be lifted away from the edge of the van. So what I'm going to do here, I'm taking this and I'm colouring the edges of my foam. Now, when I used to do a lot of commissions, this was the kind of thing that I would do all the time because I wanted my projects to look really professional. And I'm going to do one with and one without so you can see the difference. There we go, that's better using that side of the pen. So alcohol marker for this job. So just going to lift that off, take that piece and pop it on there. And then place that on here like that. And you can't see it from the side. If I just lift it back, there it is. But you actually can't see it. Whereas if I do this one and I do it like this, and I put that one on there, when I pull that bit back, you can see it really clearly. So just so that you can see there or there versus there. So it just gives you a slightly more professional finish, makes the whole thing look better. And you can see up here where I didn't edge this cut and those little bits of white are showing, it doesn't look quite as good. Now at this point, I can still go in and rectify it. But to do that, you need something like this. And you've got to slide it underneath like this so that we don't get it on the, whoops, missed a bit. Let's go over here. You don't want to get it on the acetate. And you do that and go round all these edges, just touch up that little bit. So I've got a bit there that I would do as well, but that is how you do it if you forget to do it once you've already got that far. And then I've got this piece to go on top. So I am going to edge this one. So I'm going to go along here. If it's lightly coloured, you don't need to do this, but this does make a difference and it makes it look more professional. And when you're die cutting, because the die cut actually takes the fibres of the paper and cloaks it, you don't have that problem. But unfortunately, with what we've just been doing, that is something that's going to occur. So a little bit of the tape again, back to my red liner, onto here, over the whole thing, trim that off, there, take the back off, and let's place that on. And look at the difference between those edges. They just look so much more professional. Hold that to the top, and I'm just going to bring it down by literally a millimetre, just so that it's together. So we've got still got a lovely bow there. We've got a little bit of a bow here. It's so neat that it's really together. It's freestanding, just as we wanted it to be. And that's ready for then us to put all of our other elements of decoupage. Now, I just want to show you a couple of examples of things that we've decoupaged. So here is one of them. And this is taking the truck. And you can see I've really worked at getting this to look professional. And taking the truck and adding all that detail. If you want to get this much depth to the front, then I'm going to suggest you do need to put another little bit of a stand on the back So a little piece so that you've got, whether you fold it that way and you just have it out, you just need something to support that extra bit of weight. But this is one of them. So your truck, and then one of the bales of hay and lots of detail on it. You can also, don't forget, you can embellish it further by putting on things like the wheel, etc. Here's another one that's got the truck and it's got the little cart next to it and the detail there. Then I'm going to show you this one. This is the other truck that we've got, and that gives you another idea of some of the detail that you can get. Here is a traditional card that utilizes the truck and some of the little puppies and the detail in there. And I've got one more, which is this one, which is, again, both trucks, but using the smaller one at the back. So that's one of the nested versions of this, and then the other one to the front. So that gives you a few ideas of different things that you can be doing and how you can bring it all together. So just as a recap then, so this is what we've learned today, how to create those little boxes out of our bales. And then we've really focused on getting good quality decoupage, but with really neat professional finish that just gives you that extra little bit of detail. So if anybody wants construction acetate, you've got half price on that, and it's called Acetate 50. And I will just remind you of these because the teddy's the cutest little thing. The donkey is just adorable, but it's these guys. And I seen this. Look at that. How cute is that? With the little abandoned teddy. Teddy's been left in the field and he's there. But I'm actually thinking those puppies would look super cute in there. Thank you, guys. I love doing these Zoom classes. And I'm getting even more excited as we get closer to being able to do face-to-face ones, as well as this as well. Don't forget, I've still got my free painting class every month. Mel's doing the free scan and cut classes. And we won't, it's a given now, it's built into next year. I'm trying to plan some paper craft ones as well. And we're looking at if we can even do something with Minecraft Studio. So it's getting quite super exciting. In the meantime, I want to just say thank you for joining me. It's been such a pleasure. And I'll see you all soon. And don't forget, you can watch this back as many times as you like. We'll send you an email with the link, and I'll also put those measurements in there for you as well, just in case you want to do it exactly like I did for this one. Okay, take care. See you soon. Have a nice day, everybody. Bye.